This is Steve Bell with Heavy Reading, and I'm here with Angela Whiteford from Affirmed Networks. Angela, how's the show been for you so far?
It's been a great show, a very busy show.
Lots of emphasis on IoT. It was smaller companies talking about it 2 years ago, then some of the big companies started to talk about it last year, and now everybody's got something on their stand about IoT. Are you seeing that intensity increasing? Are you really sort of embracing IoT, and what does it really mean?
For Affirmed, IoT is actually part of our bread and butter business. We have over 50 commercial deployments, and I would say about a third of them are IoT.
Wow.
So examples like Vodafone, TELUS, Cubic Telecom, who delivers connected car services. These are all customers of ours that are commercially deployed right now.
So IoT is fairly broad in terms of its capability, from video surveillance and high-end engine technology for GE, and down to sort of street sensors and industrial applications. And something that's emerged is Narrowband IoT. Can you talk a little bit about Narrowband IoT?
Sure. I'm just going to go back to your comment about the diversity in IoT, and that's why virtualization is such a key piece to that, right? Because how do you serve profitably, right? How do you serve connectivity to smart meters and street lights, and at the same time serve connectivity to things like a connected car or vehicle-to-vehicle communications with a single architecture? You can't do that in a legacy environment. You'd have to deploy separate networks for things like that, and that's not economically viable. Virtualization allows you to have one architecture that can do both pieces of the spectrum, and that's where things like NB-IoT come in. Now new standards like NB-IoT allow you to optimize the network for low power devices that are sitting out in the field for a long period of time with intermittent connectivity back and forth. And so now there's new standards. 3GPP has put out new standards, things like a CSGN, which is an optimized packet core. And that's actually something that Affirmed announced a couple of weeks ago, is that we have a fully virtualized NB-IoT solution that is going into commercial deployment right now.
So let me take you back. Virtualization and NFV. NFV has been around for a while, but you guys have done quite a lot with virtualization. What's the real advantages for virtualization, and why is it so important for IoT?
Well, a couple of things. Remember, we were talking about that diversity piece?
Yeah.
So with that diversity piece, you have to have an architecture that does different things. So I'll give you some very specific examples. One is, if you need to deal with applications that are high bandwidth, low latency, what does that mean? You've got to put things closer to the edge, closer to the devices. How do you do that in a mobile network? Being able to break up the network, centralize the control plane, distribute the user plane to the edge, so you're closer to the actual devices and the applications. You have to be able to do that to hit those latency and the high bandwidth requirements. Virtualization allows you to do that. They call it CUPS, control and user plane separation. We have that in our architecture today.
You were always if you had a virtualized network, you could always slice within the core. But Narrowband IoT is really almost allowing you now to do slicing through the radio access network. So this slicing is the first example of some of the 5G capabilities. So if you're doing that, does that set you up well for a 5G transition?
Absolutely. That's such a great question. So one of the things we talk a lot about is our architecture is 5G ready. So what does that mean, right? It means that you support that control and user plane separation. It means that we can support network slicing today. So we can do that right now. Standards like Decor, we have an MME, we've implemented Decor in the MME. So it allows you to do that full slicing, that traffic segregation. So I could have a narrowband IoT solution, I could have an LTE-M solution, and then when the final standards come out, we can have the 5G next-gen core solution. They could all be separate slices. And then you further slice from there. I can slice by industry, I can slice by vertical or companies, depending on how large they are. You can take it to a very granular level. So a lot of customers who are waiting for 5G, we tell them, don't wait. You have a 4G architecture today that can give you 5G capabilities. Embedded virtual probes in your function. That's a 5G requirement. They say VNFs need to be self-monitoring. We do that today.
for IoT going forward, it's a little bit like cellular in the early days, 25 years ago. You need to split out the business operation, you need to split out the mindset, new business models, and it sounds as if Affirmed is a good opportunity to enact that as a strategy. Is that something you're seeing as well?
Absolutely. And when we talk about, for Affirmed, when we talk about IoT, we talk about it in three particular areas. There's the connectivity, which we believe virtualization needs to be the foundation for that, and that's where we're very proven in the market with our deployments and our capabilities. We also believe in the service enablement layer, right? Connectivity support platforms, application enablement. That's the other key piece in terms of delivering IoT services and creating that revenue stream. And in that model, in that part of the architecture, Affirmed has taken an approach of an open ecosystem. So we're partnering with best-of-breed, proven vendors in that space to bring those service enablement capabilities to our operators. Just recently, we announced a partnership with Tech Mahindra, who's very well known for their service enablement capabilities, and also the third piece of the solution, which is the IoT services. And that's where Affirmed and folks like Tech Mahindra have great integration capabilities when it comes to IoT.
It's been an amazing move. I mean, it's less than 15 months to, from start to finish. This is probably the fastest rollout ever, and you guys are in a good position here, it seems.
Yes, we're really fortunate right now. We're excited. It should be a great year.
Thank you very much, Angela.
Thank you.